This year, as the USA goes to poll amidst pandemic that seems to have redefined how the world works, a close race is definitely on the cards. Namaste and welcome to the first episode of New India Junction Bottom Line. With this section, we will bring to you larger phenomena, engaging concepts and pioneering developments with a detailed and comprehensive analysis. So sit back as we explain to you how the electoral process actually works in the USA and how it is important. America is the world's oldest and the longest standing democracy, which came into effect in 1789 with the new government assuming office. Since then, the USA has continued to function with its set of challenges, something that holds true with every democracy, be it the oldest or the largest. So here's how the system actually works. The United States of America, as the name suggests, is an assemblage of states that choose to function independently, if I may add, according to a common rule. This makes it a federal presidential system of government. Simply put, it means the executive and the legislature are elected separately. The United States Congress is the governing body which has two houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Now here's when it gets slightly tricky. Elections to both these houses are held separately. They have different terms and follow a completely different routine. Let's start with the House of Representatives. Each state has a defined number of constituencies that elect its single representative for 2 years. Every constituency has one representative, which brings the total number of elected representatives to 435. These members are elected twice during a presidential term that lasts for 4 years. The upper house or the Senate has 100 members, 2 from each state, that make every state a dual constituency. The Senate has a 6-year term and is divided into 3 classes, each class comprising a third of the House's strength. Every 2 years, one class goes up the election on a rotational basis, and these elections, again, as the name would suggest, are called the midterms. Finally, the highest and arguably the most important are the presidential elections that elect a United States of America president and vice president. The presidential elections are actually indirect in nature, with the winner being determined by the votes cast through electors of the Electoral College, which, unlike the name, is not an institution of learning. To understand the election process better, think of a very large but joint family. For the head to be chosen, being popular with the larger part of the family is simply not enough. All the appreciation that your aunts and uncles and cousins shower upon you becomes bleak if you're not popular with the elders of the family. These elders, our grandmothers and fathers, are the most important when it comes to their decision-making powers. But even with them, you would still need to be popular with at least some of the cousins. Life would be pretty difficult otherwise, don't you think? Now let's apply this example to the USA's presidential elections. The joint family is actually the Electoral College, and the elders are the states with the largest share of votes, like Texas with 38, New York with 29, and California being the eldest with 55 votes. The cousins, aunts and uncles in the same order may be Kansas with 6 votes, Indiana with 11, and Illinois with 20 votes. For the elections, each state is assigned a set number of Electoral College votes based on its population. Being a two-party system, the voters cast a vote either for a candidate from the Republican Party or the candidate from the Democratic Party. Whichever candidate wins in a state receives all the Electoral College votes from that state. The total number of votes in the EC is 538, which makes up for the strength of the US Congress, 435 plus 100, with 3 votes from Washington, D.C. So the magic number, the total votes required for a majority and a victory, is 270. Simply put, a presidential candidate must win in enough states to garner the requisite 270 votes. There can be a smaller number of states with a larger share of EC votes or a large number of states with a smaller share of EC votes. In any case, a combination of both is the only way of winning. Yes, it is true that even with popular vote, meaning a majority vote share, one may not be able to call his or herself the next POTUS. But the system ensures that even the smallest states get a vote share, as do the states with a large area and a small population. The same process is applicable for the vice presidential elections as well. And like with most elections, a handful of states out of the total 50, be it big or small, decide the winning candidate. So this year, with reports suggesting that 35.5 million votes have already been cast in early voting and another 62.1 million through mail, the election day setting a record of the highest ever turnout will be what eventually decides who will become the next leader of the USA. But we'll only know when all the Electoral College votes from the states are finally counted and confirmed. We'll be sure to report it as the event unfolds. Until then, keep watching New India Junction. Namaste.